For a decade, the world searched in silence until one night, the story finally ended.
On a quiet night in 2011, a secret mission took flight, one that would echo through history.
It's May 2nd, 2011. The night air over Pakistan hums with a low rhythmic pulse, the sound of stealth helicopters slicing through the darkness. On board, 24 Navy SEALs sit in silence, their faces hidden behind night vision goggles. Their mission, simple in words, impossible in nature: find and eliminate Osama bin Laden. For nearly a decade, the world had searched for him, the man responsible for September 11th, the attacks that changed history forever. 10 years of false leads, shattered hopes, and whispers of sightings. Until now. After months of painstaking CIA work, one compound in the quiet city of Abbottabad, Pakistan, stood out. No phone lines, no internet, no visitors. A tall man pacing the courtyard, and walls so high they seemed to keep the world out. To those watching from Washington, D.C., it could only mean one thing: bin Laden was home. Inside the White House Situation Room, the most powerful men and women in America sit in tense silence. President Barack Obama, flanked by Vice President Joe Biden, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, and a handful of intelligence chiefs, watches a live feed with no sound, only flickering shadows and signals relayed from the other side of the world. Every heartbeat echoes with risk, because the plan, known as Operation Neptune Spear, has never been attempted before. The mission has 3 objectives: land undetected, enter the compound, capture or kill the target. But there's a catch. Pakistan doesn't know. The U.S. has chosen not to tell its ally, fearing leaks that could warn bin Laden in time to disappear again. If the SEALs are spotted, they won't be seen as heroes. They'll be invaders, landing near a Pakistani military academy, less than a mile away, armed and ready to respond. The risk is total, the secrecy absolute, and the clock is ticking. 90 minutes into the flight, the dark outline of Abbottabad emerges beneath the rotors. The compound looks unassuming from above. High concrete walls topped with barbed wire, blackout curtains, and a 3-story main house. Inside, no one knows what's coming. But just as the first helicopter hovers over the courtyard, disaster strikes. A sudden shift in air pressure sends the aircraft spinning. The Black Hawk crashes hard into the inner wall. The tail breaks off. The courtyard erupts in dust and smoke. Inside the Situation Room, heads snap toward the monitors. No one speaks. Then, radio chatter. Everyone alive. Continuing mission. Against all odds, no one is hurt. The second helicopter diverts and lands safely in a nearby field. The mission goes on. Now the SEALs move quickly, splitting into teams, surrounding the compound. Their boots sink into the cold dirt. Their weapons rise, laser sights cutting through the dark. The first team breaches the guest house. Gunfire flashes. 3 hostiles down. Among them, Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti, bin Laden's trusted courier, the man whose movements had led the CIA to this very place. The hunt finally had reached its endgame. But the SEALs know this is only the beginning. The main house still looms, its doors thick metal, its walls reinforced. Inside could be anything: traps, guards, or families. They move in silence. Each room tells a story of isolation: a small sitting area with worn-out furniture, a kitchen cluttered with dishes, children's notebooks spread across a makeshift classroom. The house feels lived in, but strangely untouched by the outside world. No televisions, no phones, only layers of secrecy. At the stairwell, they hit their first major obstacle: a heavy steel door, too strong for standard charges, too risky for explosives. Instead, they use precision breaching, small, focused blasts that pop locks without alerting the whole neighborhood. Step by step, they ascend. On the second floor, movement. A figure leans into the hallway, armed, a flash of light. Silence. It's Khalid bin Laden, Osama's son. The SEALs clear the rooms one by one, Stacks of hard drives, computers, and handwritten notes cover the floors. Years of hidden intelligence, the blueprint of a global network, scattered before them. They don't have time to examine it, because above them, on the third floor, lies the reason they came. They move in formation, rifles raised, 30 seconds to target. The lights are off, the air still. They hear footsteps, a whisper, a curtain shifts, one shot, then another. The team enters the final room. Two women scream, children cry in the corner, and there, standing tall and stunned in the half-light, Osama bin Laden. 5 seconds. One of the SEALs fires. The most wanted man in the world collapses to the floor. Target eliminated. For a brief moment, silence. Then controlled chaos. The team moves swiftly, securing his body, sweeping for intel, and preparing for extraction. But danger looms again. A voice crackles over the radio. Pakistani jets are in the air. The SEALs are running out of time. They gather hard drives, papers, weapons, anything of value. Then before leaving, they plant charges on the crashed helicopter. A thunderous explosion lights up the sky, erasing all trace of classified technology. As the backup helicopter lands, the team lifts off into the night, bin Laden's body in tow. The clock shows 1 a.m. The raid has lasted just 38 minutes. Back in Washington, the Situation Room erupts in a quiet exhale. For a decade, the world's most wanted fugitive had vanished into the shadows. Now the shadows had given him up. A few hours later, President Obama steps before the world. The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden. Across America, people pour into the streets, Times Square, the White House lawn, Ground Zero. Strangers embrace, chanting a single phrase, "Justice has been done." But behind the celebration lies a different kind of decision. There would be no grave, no monument, no shrine. Bin Laden's body was washed according to Islamic tradition, wrapped in white cloth, placed in a weighted bag, and lowered into the Arabian Sea. The mission was over, but the story was far from finished. From the compound, the SEALs recovered 97,000 digital files. Letters, videos, plans. Among them, strange fragments of normal life. Video games, family photos, children's lessons, but also chilling blueprints of attacks, coded communications, and the inner workings of his organization. It would take years to decode them all. Yet that night, one chapter of history had finally closed. By morning, Pakistani forces arrived at the smoldering remains of the compound. Locals gathered, stunned. How could the world's most wanted man have lived here, just miles from a military base? Theories spread like wildfire. 9 months later, the compound was demolished, leaving nothing but a concrete scar on the earth. Today, that empty patch of ground stands as a silent reminder. A reminder of obsession, patience, and precision, of a hunt that began in the ashes of 9/11 and ended in the quiet night skies above Abbottabad. Operation Neptune Spear lasted less than an hour, but it changed the course of modern history, not with noise or spectacle, but with the soft hum of rotors, the steady breath of 24 men, and the final echo of justice 10 years in the making.